Welcome to all the little biologists. Today I'm here again with an important biological process that directly or indirectly affects all other processes. Yes, seed germination. Often this is a process very common around us, but it's time that we give some of our time and understand this process. Seeds inside the fruits are designed to spread throughout the environment and grow into new plants. This is a process which we are talking about here, where seeds develop into new plants on the availability of right environmental conditions like moisture, temperature. So now the obvious question is, where do we find seeds? Seeds are generally formed in the center part of the fruit, and seeds come in many shapes and sizes, thus giving rise to new plants. Here there is a picture showing different sources of seeds, whether it is a fruit or whether the source is a vegetable. As we have seen the sources, let's move on and see the structure of a seed. Now here the structure of a simple seed is shown. The outermost layer of a seed is often known as testa or the seed coat, and the function of this particular layer is to definitely protect the seed from the climatic conditions like temperature, humidity fluctuation during the storage. Now the green part over here is called as the plumule, which later develops into the shoot or the stem. Now after plumule you can see the radicle, which develops into the root in the future. So you can just remember R for radicle, R for root. Now what is an embryo? The radicle plus the plumule forms the embryo. Actually that is the future plant. Other than these parts, the entire white part inside the seed is called as the cotyledon. Everything is actually set inside the seed, but during germination, for the plumule and radicle to come out, they have to break the seed coat. But for such a tiny seed, where is the energy going to come from? So the obvious answer over here is the cotyledons. So the main function of cotyledon is to provide energy and nutrition to the growing seed parts. Try taking seeds like peanut, pea or moong, which are readily available at home, in your hands, and try to split it into two equal halves. And if it does split into two equal halves as shown in this picture over here, then the seed is known as a dicot seed, and the word di over here stands for two. And if it doesn't split it into two equal halves like a wheat or a rice grain, then the seed is known as a monocot, and we know that mono stands for one. So here in the picture you can see how a dicot seed is going to look like and how a monocot seed is going to look like. Some of the examples for the dicot seeds are pea, beans, peanuts, tomato, and for monocot plants we have wheat, corn, grass and bamboo. Depending on whether a seed is a monocot or a dicot, the structure of the plant also varies. Even the design of the leaf and the type of the root also varies according to whether it is a monocot seed or a dicot seed. Cotyledons are known to provide energy and nutrition to the growing plant till the plant is capable of preparing their own food or doing photosynthesis on their own. Now let's just have a look at the cotyledons being shown over here. Now in this pot we have a bunch of bitter gourd plants. Now what I want to show over here is the way the cotyledon is still attached to these baby plants, as these plants are very young and the cotyledons continue to nourish the plant. Now in this bunch of plants we can see a very beautiful leaf pattern, and if we talk about the venation over here is reticulate, which again is a characteristic feature of a dicot plant. When we take a closer look at this structure, we also need to understand that with time and with the growth of the plant and the developing new leaves, these cotyledons will be shed by the baby plant. Slowly and with time, they start to dry off and then are finally shed by the plants, thus fulfilling their duty to help the plant to grow out of the seed and develop into a beautiful seedling. Thus, studying the process of germination will be totally incomplete if we don't understand the role played by a cotyledon. Now let's quickly revise all the points which has been discussed in this particular video till now. I hope the first point is very clear, as we now know that cotyledons are the source for nourishment and nutrition to the growing seed. Seeds can be monocots or dicots depending on the number of cotyledons present, and now we know the examples also. Of the two parts of the embryo, the plumule develops into a shoot or the future stem, and the radicle develops into the root in the later stages of development of a seed into a seedling. Once the plant is capable of taking care of itself, the cotyledons are shed off. I hope that now you understand germination and the role of cotyledons in a much better way.